For our second speaker, di ko napapatagalin pa, let us all welcome our second guest speaker. She took ABS Business Administration, major in marketing, and graduated from Polytechnic University of the Philippines. Plus, she is also a project manager, R&D, at GMA New Media Incorporated. And in addition, she is also currently a virtual assistant and social media marketing at Herat and Meh William. And lastly, our second speaker is a licensed financial advisor / certified investment advisor at ProLife UK. So, wag na natin patagalin pa at pag-antayin pa ang ating mga finmates. So, let us welcome our dearest speaker, Miss Mary Rose Sanico. Welcome po, ma'am, at maraming salamat po sa pag-attend.
Welcome po, ma'am. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Lancelot and Angelo. Lancelot, real name mo ba yan? Parang pang ML, ah.
Lancelot po. Opo.
Lancelot. Okay. Opo. I see. So, yan. Allow me to share my screen para lang natin. Okay. Okay. So, yan. Good afternoon sa ating lahat. So, muna tayo? Check muna tayo kung may mga tao pa. Kasi na lang, alas 3 ngayon, alas 3 na, so baka tulog na tayo. Type 1 naman tayo kung gising pa tayo. Sige nga, type 1. Kung may mga gising pa yan, thank you. Matibay tayo, ha. So, yan. Thank you, Finmates, for this opportunity na binigay niyo for me to speak. So, like Miss Twinkle, hindi rin ako expert on this matter, pero I will try my best para ma-share ko sa inyo how to build emergency fund. So, let's start. Okay. So, yan. Yung topic natin is Essential Guide in Building Emergency Fund. So, kanina nag-share sa atin si Ms. Twinkle on how to eliminate debt or how to manage debt, diba? So, for me, share ko lang siguro kung ano yung natutunan ko from her talk. So, sabi niya doon is, we are just an administrator of God's resources. And whatever yung haharapin natin in the future, see to it that the Lord is with us. At the same time, sabi niya doon, debt can be a good debt. Pwedeng nating i-turn yung ating mga pagkakautang into good, lalo na kapag nilagay natin siya into something na investment. So, yan. So, ito na yung role ko kanina. Ito na yung mga nasabi din. So, I'm a project manager. So, ang project manager is more on the software management sa GMA, and then freelancer, OIC sa JCM Assuring Ministry, licensed financial advisor, and CIA. So, kung makikita niyo yung role ko is, diverse siya from one industry to another. So, yan. So, to start, my agenda is, yung mga agenda na i-discuss natin for this afternoon. So, we will define what is emergency, ano yung emergency fund, benefits of having it, and essential guide in building emergency fund. So siguro nadaanan nyo na to dun sa mga sa mga school topics nyo, pero I hope na meron pa din tayo matutunang something new in this discussion. So before I start, I'll be sharing some images. So kung gising pa rin tayo, so mag-share ako ng mga images, and I want sana everyone to participate kung anong mga pinoportray nito mga images na to. Ano yung event or ano yung nangyari nung time na to. Okay? Sige. So, first image natin. Ano yung tingin yung nangyari dito sa image na to? Type lang sa ating chat box kung meron nakakaalam or may guess kayo kung ano yung events na nangyari dito. Okay. So, karamihan ng mga sagot is forest fire. Okay. So, this one, ano ko talaga dito for this image is ito yung Taal Volcano Eruption. So, siguro familiar naman halos lahat tayo kung ano yung nangyari sa Taal Volcano Eruption. So, January 12, 2020, nag-erupt yung ating Taal Volcano, and then naging alert 4 tayo. So, pag sinabing alert 4, hazardous explosive eruption daw yung possible na mangyari within a day or hour, within the hour or the day. So, yung naging nangyari doon sa Taal Volcano is hindi siya one day lang, di ba? So, I know na, marami siguro sa inyo nakaranas or na-apektuhan nito kasi kasama kayo sa Calabarzon area. And sinasabi din na 500,000 of people that were affected. Sabi doon, 4,000 houses daw yung na-damage or na-destroyed. And 260 classes yung nasuspende, 643 flights yung na-cancel, tapos nawalan din ng mga tubig. So can you please type naman ng 1 kung na-apekto ng Taal Volcano, or na-damage ba yung bahay nyo dito, or from one way or another. So yan, kung sino yung mga apektuhan. So masabi rin natin dito na yung pinaka naapektuhan doon is yung ating agriculture and infrastructure. So yun yung ating Taal Volcano na nangyari. Please let me know if may issue sa audio or malabo. Or mabilis ako. So yan. Next naman natin is this image. Ano kaya ang pinapahiwatig ng image na to? Anyone from the team? Anyone from the Zoom? Type lang po tayo. So yan. Kahit ano lang yung maisip nyo for this one. So ito naman is yung tinatawag nating African swine. Yan. Good job, di ba? Pero mga nakahula si Angelo, yan two Angelos sila. So African swine fever. So ano ba tong ASF na to? So yung ASF na to is highly contagious viral disease siya sa mga baboy, sa mga alaga nating baboy. Kung saan nagkakalagnat sila, nagkakasakit, nagkakaroon ng mga patsi-patsi. And para sila rin, parang yung mga COVID, meron silang cough, nahirapan silang huminga, and then diarrhea. So yan yung mga nangyayari sa kanila. And itong ASF na to is pumasok siya sa ating bansa September 2019 pa. Pero nung February 2020, yung ating Davao Occidental na area is nag-declare sila ng state of calamity dahil marami or 100 hogs yung kailangan nilang i-eliminate yung time na yon. So yung 100,000 na baboy na yan is kailangan magbayad ng ating government ng 50 million para mabayaran yung ating mga nag-aalaga. So yan, sinasabi rin na hindi rin kasi kaya natin siya pinapatay is kasi syempre kung may sakit na yung baboy, hindi naman dapat nakainin natin sila. Hindi naman daw nakaka-apekto sa atin yun, pero dapat syempre dapat hygienic yung mga kinakain natin. So yan yung African swine fever. Next naman this one. Anyone? Kung sino makakahula kung ano na lang event to? Na to exact? Anong tingin nyo? Ano tong image na to? No? Okay. So ito is naman natin. Typhoon Ambo. So ito yung bagyong Ambo. So bagyong Ambo, ito yung first na bagyo na tumama sa Pilipinas in 2020 din. So yung bagyong Ambo is, tinawag siyang Yolanda Jr. So kung familiar kayo kung gaano kalakas yung Yolanda. So siya, halos kapantay, wherein ang tinamaan niya is yung sa Samar area. So sa eastern or northern Samar. So kung may mga kamag-anak kayo doon, and then naging under din sila state of calamity, wherein 2 billion yung mga nasira. 2 billion yung estimated na kinailangang ng ating government. And then, 57,000 houses and 336 structures daw yung mga na-damage. So kung makikita mo, talaga siya, masyadong malakas yung Yolanda Jr. natin. Kahit na junior lang siya. Next, syempre, sinong hindi nakakaalam?
Mas po dito.
So, yan. Sinong hindi nakakaalam na ito? Kung hindi nyo pa alam kung ano ito, COVID-19, syempre, alam ng lahat yan. So, alam natin na nagpumasok siya sa ating bansa January 30, 2020, nung nagkaroon tayo ng first case ng COVID. March 16 naman, yung Luzon area is pinasok sa ECQ. So doon nag-start na mag-shut na yung mga businesses, magsarado lahat. Alam niyo yung naranasan natin na talagang umasa tayo doon sa mga delivery services kasi bawal tayo lumabas sa mga grocery, pumunta lang ng palengke. So yan, every one of us is talaga na-encounter ito. And until now, alam natin na nandyan pa din siya. And yung total cases na naka-encounter na ito or na-infect is 3 million na sa ating bansa. So mag-move 4M na siya. Tapos marami na ring mga kababayan natin yung namatay. 55,000 yung nawala. So isipin mo yun from 1, naging 55,000 yung nawala. So masyado siyang mabigat. And I'm hoping talaga na and praying na talagang talagang ma-stop na natin siya through the natin ngayon, yung mga boosters, mga vaccines, so yan. And then next, from here, makikita natin na these 4 is tinatawag nating emergencies. Tama? Agree ba kayo? So itong 4 na to is national emergency siya. National emergency siya. Pero ano nga ba ang tinatawag nating emergency? Paano natin masasabi na emergency ng isang bagay o isang event sa isang event? So emergency daw siya if it is a serious, unexpected, and often dangerous situation requiring immediate action. So dito makikita natin na immediate action yung kailangan nung nagkaroon ng different na, kunwari yung sa Taal Volcano, alam natin na naging delikado siya for a lot of us, tama? So kailangan, dun sa Taal Volcano, alam ko, dun tayo nag-start magsuot ng mga mask. And then dun sa mga, sa mga, sa COVID naman, dangerous siya kasi pag nahawaan tayo. So kailangan natin talaga ng immediate actions. And pag sinabi na natin emergency, it is something na kailangan ready tayo. It is something na hindi natin alam kung gaano siya katagal. So for example, yung COVID-19, sino ba mag-aakala na it's been 2 years and we're still here, di ba? Andito pa rin tayo sa mga bahay natin. And yun, yung mga emergency na to is something na alam natin na darating sa buhay natin, but sometimes we are not ready. We are not ready to face it. We are not ready na ano ba yung mangyayari. So, ang kailangan natin gawin is paghandaan yung mga emergency sa buhay natin. So, yan. Examples of emergencies on a personal level naman tayo. So, job loss. So, yung nawalan ng trabaho. So, for example, yung mga natin. So, kung meron man mga nag-work sa inyo, so, working student, so yan. Yung mga parents natin, kung bigla mawalan ng trabaho, yung ating mga breadwinners nawalan ng trabaho, emergency siya. Kasi, anong mangyayari sa atin? How are we going to cope up with the expenses that we have if the primary resource of our daily expenses, yung kumikita sa atin is nawalan ng trabaho? So, it's an emergency. Next is medical or dental emergency. So, pag sinabi natin medical or dental, of course, from its word naman. So, medical is something na biglaan nagkasakit, kailangan natin itakbo sa hospital. So, ito yung mga emergency na ayaw nating maranasan, pero it is real it's reality, di ba? So, gusto natin siya maiwasan, pero at the same time, it's the reality. Next, in unexpected home repair. So, kung makita nyo kanina yung mga example natin from Bagyong Ambo, from Taal Volcano, halos karamihan ng binanggit ko ng mga nasira is bahay, infrastructure. So 55,000 na mga tao sa Northern Samar, sa Samar area, isipin nyo na walan sila ng trabaho. Kung kayo, maayos yung pagkakatayo ng bahay nyo and then in an instant, isang ganun lang, parang nawasak na. So it's really an emergency na kailangan makapagpatayo tayo ng bahay. And yan, for trouble, so pag mga nasiraan ng bahay, ng kotse, of course, yung ito naman is siguro ito yung pinakamasakit na emergency na possible natin maranasan. It's sudden loss of someone that we love or disability in the family. So it's something na, yun din, kaya ng medical emergencies, it's something na we know na, we know na it's real. Will happen, all of us will die. Ready ba tayo for that? So yan. So when we are on those situation, what do you think are we need? Ano yung pinakailangan natin during this time? Sige nga, kung gising pa tayo, can you please type in the chat kung ano yung kailangan natin during the emergency situation? Type lang po tayo. So yan, money, pera, money yan. Money. Yeah. True, it's money. It's the funds. Kailangan natin ng pera. Yeah, we need our family. Siyempre, kailangan natin yung mga family, yung love, yung sympathy. Kailangan natin yung pray for ganito or what. Pero what we really need is money. Tama? So, kung nakikita niyo sa Facebook, di ba? Siguro naman everyday na may Facebook kayo. So, nakikita natin the Facebook na if someone na, kunwari, may mga nag-share na, please send help to this kid kasi may sakit siya, to this family kasi ganyan. What we really need is money. So, yan, kailangan natin ng pera. So ano nga ba ang definition ng emergency fund? So before ako mag-proceed sa emergency fund topic, if you have any questions, just type in on our comment section and later on let's discuss. Okay, para maging open lang yung ating discussion. So yan. Emergency fund is defined. So defined siya as a stash of money set aside to cover financial surprises life throws your way. So yung financial surprises, ito na yung mga nabanggit natin kanina, na mga job loss, medical, sudden death. So yung stash is defined as the money na tinatago natin into something. Yung tinatabi natin, store safely. Safely ha, hindi yung kitang-kita mo agad. Kasi sabi nga kanina ni Ms. Twinkle, if nakikita natin yung pera natin, nakikita, ang dami kong pera, we feel na, kaya ko pang bumili. So, kailangan yung emergency fund natin is something na naka-store na hindi natin siya accessible. Hindi natin siya madaling ma-access. Hindi siya something na mag-Shopee ako tapos makikita ko, oy, sale, 50% off, free delivery. Kukuha na ako nung purchase na ako. Hindi dapat ganun yung maging mindset natin for the emergency fund. Kasi emergency fund should be keep on a safety and secure place. Okay? So, yan. Benefits of having an emergency fund. So, makikita niyo yung pusa, di ba? Ano kaya ang ng pusa na to? Ano nire-represent ng pusa na yan? Ang sarap, di ba? Nakahiga lang siya eh. Wala lang eh. So, yung pusa na to, it represents us the first benefit, which is it helps us keep your stress level down. As what we mentioned kanina, sabi natin, yung mga life surprises, definitely it will come. Hindi lang natin alam kung kailan. Tama? Pero kapag nandun na tayo sa sitwasyon na yun, alam natin that what we need is money. It is really what we need. And it is something na kailangan natin ma-pull out, di ba? Sabi nga ni Miss Twinkle, doon, emergency, kailangan natin ng pera. And if we don't have any money, kahit nahirapan tayo. Pero kapag, for example, we have emergency fund, definitely, yung stress level natin is hindi ganun kataas. For example, nawalan tayo ng trabaho, pero alam natin may emergency fund tayo, tama? So pag nawalan tayo ng trabaho and may emergency fund tayo, we know na we can provide for our needs for the following months pa. And meron tayong time to cope up kung ano yung nangyari. An example rin is kapag, for example, nawala yung ating breadwinners, yung ating mga parents na nagbuhay sa atin or nagsusupport sa atin financially. So kapag nawala sila, hindi tayo masyadong stress tayo technically, really. Realistically, we are stressed. We are emotionally stressed. And andun yung natin, and regress emotionally. Pero kapag wala tayong pera, mas dagdag pa kasi yun pag walang emergency fund yung family. So it's very important na merong emergency fund. So whatever may happen, yung stress level mo is hindi ka yung anxiety level natin. Baka kasi bigla kang nagkaroon ng emergency, bigla na tayo nagkaroon ng anxiety or what. So yan. Next naman natin is, the second benefit is yung ating, yan. Sabi dito, it keeps you from spending on a whim. So sabi dito, pag whim, sudden decision, diba? Out of sudden decision lang. So sabi nga kanina ni Ms. Twinkle, we should keep our emergency fund out of sight. Kasi sabi doon, out of sight, out of mind. So pag hindi natin nakikita, hindi natin maisip na we have money. So yun yung nagpapaano sa atin na, tayo na for example, mayroong millions, pero alam mo na hindi mo siya nakikita, hindi mo siya palaging ginagastos. So, ikaw, hindi mo magagastos yun para bumili ng sasakyan kung meron ka ng pamili ng sasakyan. And alam mo naman na yung sasakyan na yun is just a luxury or hindi siya necessary for you. Kasi di ba sinasabi nga natin na pwede namang mayroong mga bagay sa buhay natin na we thought is an investment, but in reality, it's not. So, for example, for a car. So, kung bibili ka ng kotse, technically, it's not an investment. If, for example, if you're not earning from it, it's not an investment. It will be an investment only if kumikita siya. Kapag pinag-grab mo siya, so you turn your expense to investment. So, yun, ganun yung mga magiging idea natin na kapag may emergency fund tayo, it's out of sight and hindi natin siya madaling magagastos. Hindi natin siya gagastusin kasi we know what's the purpose of that emergency fund. Okay? Next is, yan, ating benefits. Third benefits and the last siguro is yung it keeps you from making bad decisions, financial decisions. So kanina sinabi natin yung pangungutang where we discussed about debt elimination, debt management. And we know na kapag emergency, if we don't have enough balance sa ating mga bangko, what we do is mangungutang tayo. It's either to our relatives, to 5-6 kay Bombay, tama? Sa mga credit cards natin, we definitely will take some risk. And alam natin na kapag nangutang tayo, it will have interest. And kapag, for example, wala kayong pera, so hindi mo siya mababayaran ng, ideally gusto natin bayaran ng buo, pero hindi natin siya mababayaran ng mabilisan. So nagkakaroon na, napapile up yung ating interest, tama? So yan, kailangan natin emergency fund para sa mga time na yun, hindi tayo, imbis na hindi tayo malugmok sa utang. Hindi yung mga emergency na yun maging reason for us to be na malugmok tayo sa pagkakautang. So ano pa itong Ano pa itong emergency fund na to? Paano ba natin siya i-build? So this is the pinaka-core ng ating discussion, how are we going to build our emergency fund? So I know many of you, syempre finmates kayo and you are mastering or you're studying financial management. So definitely you have all the resources or you have the books, di ba? You have the books. Pero what I will be sharing with you is something that is practical enough for everyone. So yeah, may mga examples lang tayo. So first, before in building an emergency fund, ito siguro yung pinaka gusto kong maalala ninyo. What is yung pinaka-important siguro for me in building your emergency fund is yan, marathon, di ba? You need to have discipline and consistency. Yeah. If you don't have these two, definitely your plans to build your emergency fund will fluctuate, it will fail. Because in building your emergency fund, discipline and consistency are important. Tama? Kasi kung wala yan, ano lang tayo, para lang tayo nagtatabi ng pera and then eventually will kukunin lang natin. Or parang kung kailan lang natin may sipang, we need to be consistent on what we're doing. Tama? Para maano natin, ma-achieve natin yung ating goal. So, ito na yung mga steps natin on building our emergency fund. So, yan. Siyempre kanina, Miss Twinkle share with us about her chart, diba? Nag-share ata siya kanina. So, first is we need to make a budget and see where you can start saving more money. So, dito sa akin naman, ito yung nag-work sa akin na percentage. So, there's a lot of budgeting formula sa ating sa ating Google. Magsa-search lang kayo sa Google, budgeting formulas or what. There are a lot. Pero for me, siguro ito yung shinare sa amin ng ABC. So, ito yung nag-work sa akin. So, operating activities is 60%, investment is 20%, leisure activities is 20%. So, operating activities, technically, andyan na yung tithes natin, the 10% tithes, andyan na yung ginagastos natin for a monthly basis, andyan yung mga bills, utilities. So yan, pang natin sa aso, pang kain nila sa ating alagang pusa, andyan na lahat yan. So everything, andyan. Investment activities, why do we need an investment? Tama. So ba't natin kailangan ng investment? Definitely, it is for us to cope yung inflation. Tama. Kasi yung savings natin, if we will just put our money on the bank, syempre mag-work na kayo eventually after few years siguro. Kapag nilagay lang natin sa bangko yung ating pera, the percentage or the interest, talo tayo. Talo tayo in terms of the inflation rate. Kasi ang taas ng inflation rate ilang percent? 5%, 4%. Pero yung ating investment, ilan? I don't know if it's 1%, 1 or 2. So yan. So kailangan meron tayong mga instruments, meron tayong nire-ready for the future kasi hindi naman tayo buong buhay magtatrabaho. So we need to prepare our investment. Kahit gaano ka-risk. Tandaan nyo, mas better to invest earlier. Mas maganda mag-invest ng bata ka kasi you have the capacity. Kakampi mo pa yung iyong oras. Okay? So habang bata kayo, habang nag-graduate pa lang kayo, so yan yung nyo, yan yung magiging inyong pace. Leisure activities. So kung mapapansin nyo, hindi ko sinabi kung saan, walang savings dito, di ba? Sabi ko investment, sabi ko operating. The savings natin is ilalagay natin on the leisure activities, which is 20%. Leisure activities, kasama dyan yung mga pang-treat natin sa sarili natin. So, gusto natin ng milk tea, gusto natin bumili ng gadget. So, dyan natin siya kukunin sa ating leisure activities. Pero kasama rin yan yung ating savings. So, savings kasi, madalas ang savings kasi natin is ginagamit natin for a short-term goal. Tama ba? Siguro kapag for example, gusto mo mag-travel, di ba mag-iipon ka? Save ko muna to kasi gusto mo mag-travel sa May. O save ako dito. And then eventually, kukunin mo siya. Mauubos. So, dyan natin sasama siya sa leisure activities. So, ano yung leisure activities mo? Andyan yung savings mo. Short-term goal lang yun nandyan. Ang long-term mo is nasa investment natin madalas. Okay? Next is, ito yung sample ko na budgeting price. So, income mo for example is 15,000. 60% nun is 9,000. So, mayroon kang groceries, mayroon kang utilities na 2,000 each. Yan, 20%. Minimum yung natin dito for the investment. 20% is minimum. So, meron ka, for example, insurance, meron kang UITF. So, save, okay ka na doon, nakamit mo na yung minimum. And then, leisure activities mo is 20%, which is 3,000. So, kakain ka sa labas, bili kang milk tea, and then savings mo 2,000. So, ito yung sample. So, from here, babudget na natin, magkano ba yung emergency fund na kaya ko? For this example, kaya mo mag-save for the emergency fund na 5,000. Okay? Galing siya sa operating activities mo. So, whatever yung left dito sa mga chunk natin na to, sa mga components na to, yun yung ilalagay natin sa emergency fund. So, kailangan natin ng discipline dito. Diba? Dito napapasok yung discipline eh. Kailangan natin ng discipline na, kailangan, kailangan ko for for the grocery, 2,000 lang. Wala nang extra, super extra. Kapag 2,000 budget mo, pero paglabas mo sa counter, 4,000. So, dapat, mind setting. Discipline talaga yan. Next is this one. This image pertains to us, the second step. So, yan is ating target goal. Determine your emergency fund goal. Ano ba yung goal mo for the emergency fund? Ano yun? Okay, so pag sinabi natin emergency fund goal, how much you need each month to cover yung essential. Essential such as housing, food, transportation, yun yung essential. Siyempre hindi nakasama dyan yung mga natin, yung ating mga Shopee. Tama? And the next is, dapat cover natin yung 3 to 6 months of monthly expenses. So, yung 3 to 6 months, maliit ba siya? Maliit siya, no? Kung i-compare natin siya for the COVID. Kasi 2 years na tayo. So, kung nawalan, possible, probably meron tao or may individual here in our country na nawala ng trabaho since 2020 and up until nawala siyang trabaho. Dahil marami nagsara na negosyo. And it's good if meron siyang meron siyang naging naitabi, pero if none, mag-i-struggle yung family talaga. So 3 to 6 months is yung base natin. So from the example that we provided kanina, so dito makikita natin na yung ating mga, ano ba yung sinabi natin? Diba sabi natin, housing, food, transportation, so essential expenses. So from here, yung essential expenses natin is the following, operating at saka investment na. Tama? So 4,000 plus 3,000, so emergency fund goal natin is 7,000 per month is needed to cover yung essential expenses. So 7K times natin sa 3 to 6 months, which is 21 to 42,000. So ideally, ito yung pinaka-base mo na kung nagtatrabaho na kayo, kailangan mga ganitong, and same yung mga yung inyong budget, ganitong amount yung yung kailangan yung is-save for the emergencies. Okay? May natutunan po ba tayo? So yan. Ang next naman po natin is yung open a separate emergency savings account. So, sinasabi natin na separate talaga siya. So, hindi mo dapat tabi. So, kung magkakaroon kayo ng mga cards, mga ATM cards, so, meron kayong debit card for savings. So, ito yung sa leisure. Meron kayong isa rin for the emergency fund. And separate pa yung sa payroll kung nakahiwalay yan, diba? So, yan. So, dapat hiwalay siya kasi binibuild natin yung psychological na hindi natin, itong debit card na to, itatabi ko lang siya, nakatabi lang siya somewhere, and hindi ko yan gagalawin. Ang bit-bit ko lang is itong leisure, ATM. Okay? Ganun dapat yung magiging mindset natin for this one. Next naman is, yan, we need to review your budget regularly. Kailangan natin regularly nire-review yan. Bakit? Kasi kailangan natin i-ensure na yung ating savings at saka investing is still pa din, same pa din. Kasi for example, if nag-start ka mag-work with 15,000 with the expenses na 7K per month, so paano kung malaki na yung sahod mo, 40,000 na yung sahod mo, and your expenses naglobo na din. So kailangan nag-update ka kung magkano yung fund goal mo, emergency fund goal mo. Next, yan. Ito yung kanina sa gradually, i-increase mo siya. Dahan-dahan. And then, kapag for example, may mga bonuses kayo sa work, kailangan mo din siya. Isisituate nyo na ilalagay nyo siya sa emergency fund. Wag yung, may bonus ako. bili na ako ng cellphone, bili na ako ng trending na damit, di ba? So, kailangan, talaga tayo? Kailangan, nagsisave talaga tayo ng mga unexpected income. And then, keep saving even after reaching your goal. So, kunwari na-reach mo na yung iyong fund goal na 6 months, save lang ng save kasi hindi natin alam kung gaano katagal yung emergencies. So, dapat, tuloy-tuloy lang tayo, tayong mag-stop. Okay? So, yan. Sa last naman, ang next naman natin is yung ating, for this one, is use emergency fund only in time of emergency. So, pag sinabi mo emergency, yung kaninang definition natin, kailangan gastusin mo lang yung emergency fund mo kapag nandun ka sa sitwasyon na yun and wala ka na talagang makukuhaan. Pero kung kunwari nawalan ka ng trabaho, pero you still have some of your leisure savings, yun pa lang yung gastusin, huwag mo na galawin yung emergency fund. And then, yan. Is it something na yung barometer or measurement natin to know if it's time para gastusin yung emergency fund is this? Kailangan natin tanong if it's something that we need to survive. Kailangan ba natin kunin yung emergency fund natin para mabuhay tayo? If it's something, if your answer is maybe, no, not yet, and then siguro, isipin natin ulit, baka may way pa, may other way pa, bago natin gastusin yung ating emergency fund. Okay? And then last, siguro, on building our emergency fund, is that we need to celebrate our success. So in whatever man yung pinag-ano natin, ano man yung achievement natin, whatever man yung goal natin, it's important na you learn to celebrate yung success. Kailangan tayo. Kailangan sineselebrate mo yun kahit gano'ng kaliit. So kailangan isi-celebrate mo siya kasi if wala kang celebration sa mga na-achieve mo, magiging routinary lang yung trabaho. Okay, so yan. Kapag for example, ka na 50% na nung emergency fund mo, try, bumili ka ng maliliit na bagay. Ng milk tea, mo lang yung sarili mo, kumain ka ng masarap, and then after nun, go na ulit and go and set your goal. Ano yung next? So yan, kasi nagtatrabaho tayo para ma-enjoy din natin syempre yung ating kinikita and it's important na i-treat natin yung sarili natin. Kahit nasabihin natin, alam natin na savings is important, emergency fund is vital, still, we need to have meron pa rin tayong pagtitreat sa ating sarili. We need to pay ourselves first. So, yan, yun yung mga natin, essential guide in building emergency fund. So now, when are we going to start building emergency fund? Siyempre, sasabihin niyo pag nag-work na. But my answer for this question is today. Siguro today, ba't ko siya sinabing today? Kasi there's a possibility that many of you or man sa inyo na nag-working student or pwede nyo rin kasi i-share yung knowledge na to sa family nyo and then help your family. Kailangan nyo i-decide. Kailangan nyo tulungan yung family nyo para magkaroon kayo ng financial wellness and freedom in the future. Tapos, meron din dito akong question. Should I pay off debt before saving emergency fund? So, yan. Kasi yung debt elimination nga kanina ni Ms. Twinkle. So, ano nga ba ang unahin natin? Debt elimination or emergency fund? For me, we can go in parallel. So, kailangan bayaran mo yung mga high interest debt. Kasi, yan yung magpapabagsak sa'yo, yung mga matataas yung interest. So, kailangan bayaran mo siya para mabawasan ka ng iisipin. And then, at the same time, if meron ka pang konting natitira, itabi mo siya for your emergency fund. So, ganun yung ganun yung pagma-mindset natin for this one. So, yan. Tapos na po yung ating presentation for the emergency fund. And allow me to share with you my story lang. So, my adventure to financial wellness. So, nasabi na kanina ni Ms. Twinkle yung financial wellness, the definition of it. Pero siguro, ko lang dun share ko lang dun sa aking buhay. So, yan. My roots is I grew up in a family na not well off. So, yan. Nag-aral din ako sa State University and yung family namin is nagkaroon ng different type of debts in relatives, loans, sa mga Bombay, sa mga 5, 6. And yan yung ginamit namin para makapag-aral. Hardworking, ito yung nakita ko during nung nag-aaral ako is hardworking is a must. It's really important. Pag wala kang Pag hindi ka nagtrabaho, then eventually, hindi ka makapag-aral, hindi ka makakain. So, yan. What I learned from this situation is that prioritize your study and get a work that can help us financially. So, yun yung naging goal ko. Kailangan makapagtapos ako ng pag-aaral. And eventually, I wanted to help my family. Gusto kong maging stable yung family ko, mawala ng mga utang and what. Kailangan mag-aral ka, di ba? Pag sinabing aral, aral. Hindi pwedeng may sideline. Okay? Then, year 2012. So, thanks God, I was able to graduate on time. So, graduate on time. So, yan. Kasi I'm an accountancy major student of first year. And then eventually, sorry. Medyo may ingay.
Metrogate. Tama, di ba?
Can you mute?
Metrogate.
Excuse me po, pa-mute nga po. Pa-mute po ng mic. Ayan, thank you po. Sige po ma'am, tuloy na po. Salamat. Pasensya na po.
Okay, thank you. So, yan. Balik lang ako ha. So, thanks God, I was able to graduate on time. So, on time kasi accountancy ako nung una. Pero later on, nag-switch ako into marketing management kasi masyadong mataas yung standard and hindi ko rin kaya. So, God's will din yun. Was able to land a job before I graduated college. Ang galing ni Lord, no? 2012 pa lang, fresh grad pa lang ako. Binigyan niya na ako agad ng trabaho, hindi pa ako graduate. And that's my goal, tama. But, eventually, since pa lang ako nun, like you, mag-20s pa lang ako. So, ipon status, hindi ko siya naging priority during that time. And nag-start ako ng minimum yung salary ko. 2015, na-hired ako as a digital marketing supervisor in another company, and then later on, hired din ako as a project manager in another company din. So pag bata tayo, minsan, yung direction natin on where are we going. Parang medyo lihis-lihis. Pero, yan, binigyan naman tayo. Doon naging project manager ako sa isang IT industry. I started ipon, savings, but not a priority. So hindi pa din. Kasi syempre, if you earn, parang nag-splurge pa din ako. So, dapat, nawala yung focus ko. I help my family in terms of financial. So, nabibigay naman ako. Pero yung savings ko is, hindi ko siya naging priority during that time. And then, 2017, kumuha ako ng insurance. So, dahil dyan, napilitan akong kumuha ng insurance. And yan yung, in a way, nag-spark. Pero, ipon pa din is starting, but still not a priority. Kailan ko kaya magiging priority yung ipon? So yan, 2018, tingnan natin ang nangyari ng 2018. I studied post-diploma in information technology kasi kailangan IT project manager ako pero hindi ako IT, so kailangan natin mag-aral. Pero, nung time na to, 2018 din, kinailangan ng aking papa na mag-undergo na medical operation. And then eventually, nawala yung aking tatay. So yung aming tatay is siya yung, in a way, siya pa rin yung primary breadwinner namin. Pero nawala siya, syempre ako yung panganay. So kailangan mag-step up ng game. So, di ba, hindi pa rin priority. So ito yung natutunan ko in this scenario. Always prepare for the future. Tama? So kasi kapag hindi ka nag-prepare for your future, definitely, mahirapan ka. And then dito ko na-realize na having an insurance, emergency fund is very important. So yan, kasi nga nawala yung pinaka-core ng finances namin. So medyo naging challenging. So mahirap siya. Diba ang hirap na papa-remind pa sa'yo yung importance isang bagay dun sa mismong actual implementation na. So yan. And then invest in insurances. So yan din, na-realize ko na important pala. Kasi noong time na yun, before mawala yung dad ko, yung tatay ko is parang pinaplano ko ng siya ng insurance. Pero eventually, hindi ko na tuloy. Plano lang ng plano. So, yan. Hindi pa rin kami nakuha. And realize ko na important talaga yung insurance para may tayo if ever na mawala man tayo. 2019, na-hire ako as project manager sa GMA. So working at GMA is really a dream of mine. Hindi ko siya imagine kasi before, when I am studying nung high school lang, dinadaanan ko lang siya. So, di ba yung building nila, and sinasabi ko, ang gagaling siguro ng mga nakakapasok siya. And wala ko nung guts na pumasok doon kasi hindi ako ganun ka-confident. Pero when the Lord nag-decide siya na ilagay ka into something in one place, He will put you there. Kahit gano'n pa yung pagtingin mo sa sarili mo, kailangan lang talaga mag-walk ka para kailangan mo lang mag-action para siya mismo, para marating mo yung gusto niya na marating mo. And then now, 2019, syempre ang dami ko natutunan 2018. So 2019, ito talaga yung priority ko na. Pero may times pa din nakakalimot ako kasi I'm the type of person na madaling mayaya. So kung gano'n din kayong tao, kailangan magkaroon tayo ng discipline, di ba? And consistency. And then here, natutunan ko na we should always go outside of our comfort zone. Okay? Kasi pag nasa comfort zone lang tayo, kapag nasanay na tayo na ito lang yung ginagawa natin, ito lang yung lifestyle natin, and ayaw natin ng change, definitely yung buhay natin is magiging stagnant. So we need to learn to go outside of your comfort zone. Habang estudyante kayo, you need to put that in your mind. 2020 and present. So COVID-19, syempre alam na natin yan. I became a financial advisor ng Blue Life UK. And from here, natutunan ko how important it is to be financially literate. Nagkaroon of better financial management. Syempre, you cannot work as an FA if you don't know how to practice it within yourself, di ba? Nakakaya naman, di ba? So, yan. And then added another stream of income. So, makikita niyo yung aking role. So, I'm an IT project manager. I am also a virtual assistant freelancer sa digital marketing naman. And then this one, kailangan nag-a-add tayo ng stream of income kasi masyadong pahirap yung buhay natin. So we need to do that. We need to cope up with the change. And then now, lesson learned is that, siguro kailangan natin stop having, alam ko na yan, habit. Bakit? Feeling ko, very, siguro sa inyo din. Kasi a lot of us, many of you, I know na marami sa inyo, alam nyo na yan, emergency fund, debt elimination, alam ko na yan. We heard it from the book, we read it from the book. Diba? I'm sure, alam nyo na to. The basic, I know, alam nyo na to. But you need to remove that in your mind. Bakit? Kasi if we have such mentality na alam ko na yan, definitely you will not grow. You will just know it. Before ng 2018, alam ko na lahat. Alam ko investment, alam ko insurance, alam ko emergency fund. But I didn't take any action. Tama? So it's not enough na alam mo lang. It's important for you to take action. Okay? Kasi sabi niya, medyo gathering kasi kami dati na nag-aaral. Boring yung boring yung seminar kasi alam naman na natin yung mga sinishare nila, di ba? Pero what is important is that in every seminar, yung mga nakakausap niyo, kahit sa personal, nakakausap yung tao, sito ito may natutunan kayong lesson sa kanila. Kahit isa lang. Diba? Kahit isa lang yung matutunan nyo dyan and yun yung ipamuhay nyo. Kasi yung presentation ng mga nag-share sa inyo or nagre-report sa schools, 20 decks, 20 slides, technically hindi nyo matatandaan, hindi nyo yun isa sa buhay. Just get one. Isa lang. Isa lang yung kailangan nyo. And you need to take action. Yan, take action. So ano na ba ako ngayon? Ano na nga ba ako? So, ito pala, yung goal ko muna is yung financial freedom. So, siguro baka masyadong lang, pero si Tony Gonzaga yung nagsalita nito if you're watching her vlog. So, huwag muna natin isipin yung political, niya ha. So, yan. Financial freedom, sabi niya doon, I'm at a stage in my life where, thank God, I do not decide anymore based on profit. I am not deciding anymore for money. If I do something, it's not because money-driven, or because this is what they are gonna pay you. It's not about that anymore. It's about what I want to do and what feeds my soul. So for me, it's very ang sarap nun. Yung hindi ka na magde-decide ng trabaho kasi ito yung mas malaking bayad. Kundi, ito yung gusto kong trabaho kasi masaya ako dito. Alam niyo yun? Kasi kung nagde-decide tayo in our life na kasi yung laki ng bayad dito. Eventually, pag tips lang din sa inyo. Sa mga kayo, di ba? Pagka-graduate nyo, kayo, malulula kayo. Bakit? ang daming opportunity outside. Yung iba na-hire na, yung mga ka-schoolmates niyo ma-hire na. Bakit ako hindi pa ako na-hire? Tama, magkakaroon kayo na ganyan. Pero, tapos pag-hire naman kayo, re-resign. Resign kasi kailangan papataas tayo ng pera. Pero ang sarap mo sinabi ni Tony dito na I'm not deciding anymore for money. Tama, ang sarap no. Yun yung pinaka gusto kong maging yun yung goal ko. Yun yung goal ko na I'm not working on these streams of income because I wanted money, but I wanted to fulfill something. Next, ito yung mga in a way na save ko na. So I have my investments, MP2, UITF, stock market, GInvest, lot. So diversification is the key. Tama? And then insurances, of course, Pro-Life, accident, COVID, protect, critical. We need to make sure na when kailangan protected tayo. Kasi syempre naman natin how long tayong buhay sa mundo nito. And if tayong breadwinner, kailangan protected yung mga loved ones natin. And emergency fund, of course. So yan, share ko lang yung Zechariah 4:10. Sabi dito, do not despise small beginnings, for the Lord rejoices to see the work begin. So ano man yung mga sinisimulan nyo and tingin nyo hindi nag-work, tuloy nyo lang kasi the Lord rejoices to see the work begin in your life. Personal tips, mabilis na lang. So yan, start saving as soon as you earn. So huwag nyo nang antayin na may mangyari pa. Diversify your investment. Do not allow na sa isa nyo lang ilalagay. Diba sabi doon, do not put all your eggs in one basket. Invest on things that really matters. Ano ba yung mahalaga? Yung protection ng yung family or yung luho natin. Spend your time with your loved ones. So important to na kapag lumabas na tayo, syempre ang dami nating goals, travel goals, relationship goals. Still, we need to spend time with our loved ones. And enjoy the journey. It's not easy, especially pagka-graduate nyo, it will never be easy. Adulting hits hard. So, adulting life, maraming bills, hindi siya easy, pero you need to enjoy. You need to be happy and be grateful kasi the Lord gives you that capacity, that skills. And sabi dito ni Benjamin Franklin, beware of little expenses. So yung maliliit na expenses natin, kasi possible siya makagawa ng pwede niya mapabagsak yung isang great ship, yung malaking barko. So yan, in terms of emergencies naman, Isaiah 43:2, remember, when you pass through the waters, I will be with you. And when you pass through the rivers, they will not sweep over you. When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned. The flames will not set you ablaze. So ano man yung pagdaanan nating uncertainties in life, rest assured that the Lord is with us and He will protect us. So kailangan talaga may trust din talaga tayo kay Lord. We need to be prepared, but we need to also trust Him wholeheartedly. So yun lamang po and salamat. So follow me on the following handlers. Thank you.
Grabe. Thank you so much po, Miss Nico, sa mga knowledge na na-share nyo. Grabe, ang dami ko rin talaga natutunan. And yung lesson learned talaga nag-hit sa akin na, stop, alam ko na yan, habit. Grabe talaga yon.
Yes, true.
Tapos, yung investment fund, sobrang talagang mahalaga. Inmates. Kasi hindi natin alam kung kailan tayo mangangailangan, di ba? So, ikaw partner, ano po bang natutunan mo? Pwede bang mag-share din tayo?
Bukod sa mismong topic na diniscuss ni Ma'am, ang dami talagang enlightenments na naganap for today's talk. Kasi katulad niya na sabi ni Ma'am na hindi dapat tayo nag-i-stop dun sa alam lang natin. Kasi nagiging walang kwenta yung knowledge natin kapag hindi naman natin ina-action. Parang nababaliwala lang yung natutunan natin all throughout this year sa ating mga pag-aaral. So, dapat nagte-take action tayo for our future kasi uncertain ang future. So, dapat naghahanda tayo.
Tama, partner. Grabe talaga. And teammates, kung may mga question kayo, kindly type sa ating chat box para mapag-discussion na natin ito. At handang-handa naman talaga si Miss Nico na sumagot sa ating mga katanungan.
Ma'am, personally may tanong po kasi na patingin niyo po Ma'am, isa po ba yung factor sa pag-build ng emergency fund yung pag-i-eliminate po ng debt? Yung diniscuss po ni Ma'am Akos po kanina.
Yes, definitely. Oo. Kasi kapag for example, puno tayo ng utang, Tapos, mahirapan tayo mag-build ng emergency fund kasi di ba yung sinabi ko kanina na na kailangan bayaran mo muna yung high interest ng mga utang. Tapos kung ano yung matira, yun lang yung sa emergency fund mo. So, nade-defocus yung plano natin. So, nagkakaroon ng dalawa pa. So, it's really important na matuto tayong mag-manage din ng debts. So, yun.
Thank you so much po. Ang teammates, ulit po, kung meron po kayong tanong, kindly type na lang. Wag po tayo mahiya.
O, tanong na kayo guys, ready na siguro si ma'am na mag-answer ng inyong mga katanungan. So, yun, wag na kayo mahiya. I-comment nyo na lang sa chat box ang inyong mga katanungan and kami na ang bahala ni Jello na mag-sabi ng inyong tanong.
Yes. Mukhang naintindihan talaga ng teammates ang nai-discuss ni Ma'am Salud at wala silang maitanong. Grabe.
Very loud and clear naman.
Yes, totoo naman, partner. Wala lang magtataka, ma. Ako kasi personally, wala akong masyadong maitanong kasi nga, naiintindihan ko din at grabe yung enlightenment. Sabi nga ni Kuya Lance. Ang dami ko talaga na sulat.
So kung wala nang magtatanong, we would like to extend our deepest gratitude to our speaker for today for sharing her knowledge and time to this event. Hence, we present this certificate. So, Republic of the Philippines, Cavite State University, Don Severino de las Alas Campus, Indang, Cavite, College of Economics, Management and Development Studies. We present this certificate of appreciation to Ms. Mary Rosa Nico for sharing her valuable knowledge about essential guide in building emergency funds. During the JFINEX, the theme of Strengthening Financial Foundation, a journey towards the financial level up. Given this day of 27th of February 2022 via Zoom, signed by our SEMS Dean, Tita C. Lopez, JFINEX Advisor, Princess M. Feliciano, JFINEX Advisor, Princess P. Baybay, and lastly, our JFINEX President, Yvette Christine Huntanilla. Maraming salamat po ma'am sa pagbibigay po ng time para maka-attend po for